The 2001 STIHL Timbersports Series rolls on. Once again, we are back at Silver Dollar City, Branson, Missouri. We got some hard-working lumberjacks out here putting out their best effort to make it to the final 12 who qualify for the championships. Tommy Sanders along with John Hughes here, and look at the three names on the top, some of the toughest cookies in the business.
Tough, but look at the guy on top, Melvin Lentz. Who would have thought the king would be back on his throne amongst the field that we have here?
Look at the bubble man now, Mike Sullivan in 12th place, but Mike has only qualified for 2 more events before the qualification ends. He's going to have to put some wins on the board if he wants to make it to Ketchikan.
He's always been one of the best all-around competitors, but with only 2 qualifiers left, he needs to top out in both those events.
Here we go with the standing block chop. The young man from down under, Ivor Thomas, who trains, he says, 4 hours a night sometimes, going into one of the best that America has to offer, Matt Bush.
Ivor Thomas, only 19 years of age. He won the World Championship underhand event just a couple of weeks ago, and wanting to do the same in the standing. Tommy, potential is everything. He's got it. Just a little more maturity. We might see this guy knocking on the doors of Matt Bush, Jason Wynyard, and David Bolstead. There's Matt Bush, his opponent. This guy has done a ton of studying, reading books, watching videos, listening to the likes of David Bolstead, undoubtedly one of the finest standing block cutters in the world. Bush has had Bolstead staying with him a lot this summer, helping him out. In turn, Matt Bush has been helping Bolstead with his hot saw and crosscut sword.
Plus, Matt has put on some chin whiskers this year, makes him look a little bit more intimidating, huh?
He's a big, tall man, but there's not a lot of body weight, but boy, is there a lot of power.
All right, Bush in the foreground, Thomas in the background. Here we go with the first heat of the standing block chop.
Boy, that's beautiful pieces of wood there. Bush went with a 6-hit front. Ivor put 1 more in because of a miss-hit. Ivor's driving it already, sticking on that one.
Oh, he almost knocked the block out of the stand. He was hitting it so hard. Ivor Thomas, how about that?
Matt Bush knowing he's got to hurry around that log, using the top of it to pivot himself, because when you got Ivor Thomas against you, you've got to be in a hurry to get the job done. Look at the driving, the amount of wood he's trying to drive, the axe sticking there. Then he almost split the block off the stand, but his final blow for a very convincing win.
And a good time as well for Ivor Thomas, 15.927 seconds. He takes the lead. Tuatahi on that axe there means #1 right in Maori, John.
Sure does. The native of New Zealand, built by Eddie Fawcett down in New Zealand. There are a lot of those axes here in the competition.
That axe being used by Jack Brown, John, from Williams Lake, British Columbia, going up against Dale Ryan from Australia.
Dale Ryan got a bit of a pulled muscle in the stomach. It didn't seem to affect him in the past performances, but it might do here. A little different stance. He's hoping for a good turnout, though, all the way from Katoomba, Australia.
Tough time to beat so far, 15.92 by Ivor Thomas.
Tell you what, this Ryan, he gets excited. So excited he's hard to understand when he's speaking. But watch the speed of his swing on this standing. Opening with a 1 up and 1 down. A very different pattern to the other competitors.
Quickly around for Dale Ryan.
Ryan's going for the drive already. He's got a lot of wood to cover, but look at that.
Shot by Dale Ryan. That's good enough to take the lead. He let the axe do the talking that time.
Ryan had all the wood cleared out of the front of this log. Then he takes those 2 clearing chips. Now the final 2 blows to drive the head of the log off.
Great time for Dale Ryan, 15.23, and he takes the lead in the standing block. Melvin Lentz having a great meet here in Branson, trying his luck today at the standing block chop up against Kerry Head of Australia.
2 very different techniques here. Somehow, Tommy, the Australians have developed this very quick, compact swing, but boy, do they generate a lot of power in each blow. Melvin's got a good piece of wood there, a quick front. Did he get enough work done, though?
Oh, he's going to have to start driving pretty quick there, and there we go, Melvin Lentz. Wow. Going to be close to the lead, may not take over the lead, however.
Melvin appeared to put a very short cut in the front, but he got around to the back, did just enough for a great finish there.
Good time for Melvin Lentz, just a shade out of first place, 15.38 seconds. Dale Ryan still in the lead, 15.23. STIHL Timbersports Series continues from here in Branson, Missouri. Another heat of the standing block chop coming up. Our leader so far, Dale Ryan. This is Arden Coger Jr. versus Dion Lane.
Look at the power of these guys. Shaking these stands. In fact, Dion's nearly lifting the stand off the dock. Boy, he's got a wall of wood in the front there. Did he get enough cut? He's going for the drive already. And he got him by half a blow.
Not going to be good enough for first place, though. Take a look at the seismic activity here.
Dion Lane's technique in the drive is perfect. Dropping his shoulders down low, pushing the axe right through the block.
Dion Lane's time, though, only good enough for fourth place so far. Dale Ryan still your leader, 15.23. He's firmly established himself as the best chopper so far this year on the STIHL Series, going up against the man who has won the whole shooting match for the past 4 years, Jason Wynyard. Bolstad versus Wynyard in our final heat of the standing block chop.
Tommy, these guys are undoubtedly two of the finest standing block cutters in the world with two very different thoughts. Jason says he knows how many blows he's going to put in the block before he starts. Bolstad said you don't know what the texture of that wood is until you put your opening blows. Jason's got a brilliant start there. In fact, both 6-hit fronts. Who got enough work done? Jason's going for the drive. This is going to be quick. Oh, yes!
Jason got him with 8 total.
The nickname Diesel was given to Wynyard for one thing, horsepower. Look at the size of the log he cut through there with those final driving blows. Very quick turn, 6 hits for the front, and Wynyard an extra blow for a great win.
Almost by a second, he takes the standing block chop here, 13.95. Pretty impressive from our former champion.
Another smile on the face from our champ, Jason. That was a heck of a lot of wood you drove off there.
Yeah, I pretty much knew I was up against it when David turned with 6 hits, the same amount as I put in. So I put 2 up, and I thought, well, it's going to have to come with the next 4 drivers. So took 1 extra one, so came off good.
You plan ahead of time how many blows you're going to put in the front. Do you also have that figured out for the back?
I really set myself for the front mostly, and then sometimes I might have to rearrange the pattern to suit how I've cut the front and the back. So I thought about going 6 in the front, and it worked out good. And I was going to try and get it in 6 in the back, but it didn't quite come. It needed extra drivers. So.
Well, the extra drive was for the win. Congratulations.
Wynyard gets the victory in the standing block chop, but your Carhartt chopping champion today with 34 points is David Bolstad. Don't go away. Coming up next, the single buck competition.
The STIHL Timbersports Series is brought to you by STIHL, the makers of the #1 selling brand of chainsaw worldwide, and in part by Dodge and the new mayor of Truckville, the next generation Ram. Grab life by the horns. And by Carhartt, rugged outdoor wear since 1889.
Back in Branson, ready to go now, the STIHL Timbersports Series single buck cross-cut sawing competition.
Cutting 19 inches of white pine, and Tommy, you can see those teeth buried in the log. This is 19 inches of lathe turned. It's the same for each competitor. 12-inch arc measured across the top of the log, so they have the same advantage at the beginning.
Hard to believe these are qualifiers 9 and 10, Ivor Thomas and Rick Halverson. Well, two pretty good hands.
Yeah, Ivor Thomas, though, young man, he only does wood chopping back home, not a lot of sawing. Rick Halverson, we've seen this guy be the best in the world. He's been sawing extremely well. You know, the other advantage of that starting cut gives you a good straight cut to start with. And Rick's using that to his advantage for a good win there.
Just barely able to shade Ivor Thomas, but a win nonetheless.
The majority of our competitors will use 2 hands on the handle, but Rick Halverson with his left hand on top of the saw and a belly driving blow for that final cut.
A study in leverage there, Rick Halverson, and a good time. Opening time, 12.71. Next heat of the single bucking, America's Dave Jewett versus Australia's Brad Turner.
And wedging the seconder for Dave Jewett, the guy that built his crosscut saws, Jean-Pierre Mercier. And for Brad Turner, that man right there, his seconder is Penny Halverson. Penny's been helping Brad with his sawing.
Boy, you could hear that team working, and David Jewett with a good time there. Excellent effort. He wins his heat.
Brad Turner needs to do a little homework and step back from the log about 2 inches. He's driving the handle right into the cut. That could break the disc off and cause him to have a no time.
Well, Dave Jewett, of course, the winner of that heat. Good time as well. Your new leader is Dave Jewett at 12.10. The four-peg, peg and raker. It's the Steel Timber Sports Series. This heat of the single bucking saw, Arden Koger Jr. from Webster Springs, West Virginia, going up against Australia's Kerry Head.
Arden Koger Jr. has predominantly been an axeman, but he's turned into a good sawyer if he keeps thinking all the way through. You must keep it going. If it's going right, don't change anything. Kerry Head, well known as a sawyer from Australia. Let's see who comes out on top in this one.
Good start for Arden Koger Jr. As you say, John, he's got to keep up the intensity all the way through that log. He might get caught, but he doesn't. Good job. Pretty tight racing from the start from these two.
Both these guys tearing lots of wood out, going for the final drives in the bottom where it's smaller. Should get through very quickly. Jamie just coming off the win. Look at his technique here. He's done some thinking about the last time we saw him. Great technique, a punch of the fist in the air for the win.
Good time for Koger Jr., but not enough for first place. His time 12.38. A look at Carson Bosworth's log there. He's going up against Matt Bush of Krogan, New York in this heat of the single bucking.
We used to watch Carson win these all day long, but Matt Bush, he's coming after him in this one. Very similar stroke speed, but look at the amount of wood Bush cuts in the bottom of that log.
Bush taking over the lead, and it looked like he was in high gear from the get-go.
Tommy, perfect technique. The saw and handle straight back across his chest where he's strongest. Look how much wood he cuts with the driving blows in the bottom. Phenomenal time.
Superior effort by Matt Bush and a time of 11.80. He takes over the lead. The cleated shoes, the cricket pants, usually an indication that we got someone from down under there, from New Zealand specifically. And it is Jason Wynyard. He's doing the sawing. Cherie Taylor doing the wedging and oiling. They'll be going up against Dion Lane, his brother-in-law, doing the sawing and oiling on that end. His second is going to be Dale Ryan.
Tommy, when these guys first came here, it was Dion that was watching Jason to try and develop his technique, see if he could better himself. Now I found out this year, Jason has been studying tape of Dion, realizing, hey, Dion won all the Steel Series single saws last year. Maybe he's got something that Jason needs to change. Boy, has it paid off so far.
Time to beat so far, Matt Bush's time of 11.80.
Wynyard with a quicker qualifying time coming here, and of course he wants to continue. I spoke with Dion last night. He said, you know, we're so evenly matched now, we don't know who's going to win. If one makes the slightest mistake, the other guy's going to take it over.
19 inches of white pine they're going to be cutting through here. Crowd is pumped and ready for this one.
3, 2, 1, go!
Jason's motoring through the bottom for a fantastic cut.
Incredible cut by Jason Wynyard. That'll win the single bucking here.
The saw and the block of Dion Lane as he attempts to beat brother-in-law Jason. Last year, Dion won all 5 stops of the Steel Timber Sports Series. Jason taking a very convincing win in this one.
Jason Wynyard, another one in the win column for him as he continues his quest for a record 5th overall title in the Steel Timber Sports Series.
Jason Wynyard, a great cut there, man. It looked to me like Dion might have been trying to over-rev to catch it. You kept the weight on.
Yeah, I actually was in a real good position that time, and I struggled a little bit at the top. I think it was a little bit slow for me at the top, but as soon as it got past halfway, I was able to really put my power into it. So probably the best position I've been in so far.
At one stage a year ago, Dion was copying your technique. Now it's done a bit of a flip around.
Oh, I don't know about that. Dion came here with his own very good technique, and I think I've definitely learned a lot off him from last year. He pretty much cleaned up in the sawing last year, and it's kind of good to come back a little bit and give him a bit of a challenge this year. So, but I'm sure he's gonna come back somehow because he's a very good sawyer.
Congratulations on a great win.
Jason Wynyard, the saw, running very well today. Final time 10.24, an easy win in the single bucking competition. We're going to get the hot saws cranked up, so don't go away. We'll be back with more of the Steel Timber Sports Series.